everybody, this is Bi-Neh with Family Travel Africa, and today we are going to make blueberry scones. I got up this morning really early and I may look a little tired because I wanted to make these blueberry scones for breakfast. This is a recipe my mom has used many times before from Sally's Baking Addiction. For our ingredients, we have 2 cups of flour, sugar, blueberries, vanilla, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, and I had some help with some already grated 1 stick of butter.
So that was cold butter already grated, right, Bi-Neh?
Yes.
And who did the grating?
Bonta.
Yeah, sister. So it's half a cup of sugar there, and the blueberries is like almost a cup or a large cup of fresh blueberries. Okay, so let's get started.
So first we put our sugar in.
And we want to add our baking powder, so it's 2.5 teaspoons.
Okay. Teaspoons?
Yes. Level off, yeah. Get your 1/2 teaspoon. That's enough, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you want to put 1 teaspoon of your cinnamon. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so we want to mix all those together. You can use your whisk and whisk those together. So we're starting out with our dry ingredients, and once we cut our butter into it, we will then add our wet ingredients. So that's a good mix up, Bi-Neh. Now you'll take your butter and you can just push it all in there. Then use the pastry cutter to slice it down, make it really fine.
Okay.
Yep, use the edge of your, yep. Perfect.
Oh.
Get all of that in there.
Pastry cutter.
So we can see it's really pebbly, right, Bi-Neh?
Yeah.
Yeah, small pebbles. And we're going to go ahead and mix our wet ingredients now.
So now we are going to mix our wet ingredients. We have here heavy whipping cream for a half cup.
So a half cup of heavy whipping cream.
Yes.
Or heavy cream. And next will be?
We'll have 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla.
So your half teaspoon is 2.5 cc's. So that's your half going in. And you want your 1, which is 5 cc's. And that's going in. And your egg.
And so good. And then we're gonna whisk them all together.
So give it a whisk without a spill. You can do that. So whisk, 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 and once you're done whisking, your wet will go into your dry ingredients and we will mix those all up. Our wet and our dry, just pour it all in there. And Bi-Neh, sometimes I start with a whisk or spatula, but knowing you, I'm sure you want to just use your hands. Okay, because we're going to end up with this dough. So just mix that all together. It's going to be doughy. Don't squeeze too hard.
Okay.
Just mix. Because you need to form a dough ball, okay? Yeah.
Make it
So your dough is going to be sticky, and if it's too sticky, we're going to add some flour. But you need to do the best you can mixing it all up before we determine how sticky it is.
okay, but it's really sticky.
You gotta keep going. You see, it is forming a dough ball. You have to just be patient with yourself and try to get all the flour and see how it is. Because if you put too much flour, you're going to end up with a very dry product. So, scrape things off of your fingers and keep mixing. Do your best not to make a mess. Yep, so keep mixing all that. So we got a dough ball and the blueberries go inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna mix this up. Just a second. And then we're going to make a disc of it. Let's just make sure we can walk everyone through what we got into, because in front of you right now you have this disc, okay? And so what we did was got our blueberries in there, as you can see, and we rolled it out into a round disc and you have all your flour. Try to get the right balance there so it's not too sticky, but also not too dry. So what are you going to do now, Bi-Neh?
I'm going to cut the disc into eighths. So, one here.
And you just keep cutting without separating. You'll only take it apart when you're done cutting. Don't press too hard on it, but you can see how gooey it is. And we like our scones to be a little on the thicker side. So you can actually make your disc smaller if you want. Yeah, and you can also feel that crunch from the blueberries, right, Bi-Neh?
Yeah.
Nice fresh blueberries.
That's 8
Yep.
discs.
And the last thing you want to do is brush some heavy cream on it. And that heavy cream just, you know, when it goes in the oven, it's going to give it that crunch, because that cream is going to get your outer part harder while your inside is nice and buttery soft. Okay? And before even going in the oven, just so everyone knows, we're going to put this on a baking sheet, stick it back in the fridge for about 15 minutes, or freezer if you'd like. I've done it in the freezer too. And that lets it cool down. That butter that we put in, you know, it gets dense and it gets a nice shock from the fridge or freezer into your 400-degree oven. So that helps it rise, right, Bi-Neh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we have our baking sheet here, and it is lined with parchment paper. Straight down, straight down. And we're just going to transfer, and you can transfer one at a time over to it. Perfect.
Oh, it broke apart, Mama.
Well,
It's still a triangle.
yeah. Just go with it. These are nice, homemade. They're going to be super fresh. And so we're going to stick this in our fridge for 15 minutes. And from the fridge, they are going in the 400-degree oven for about 20 or 25 minutes. And then from there, it is breakfast time. Those look beautiful, Bi-Neh. These look delicious, Bi-Neh.
Smell delicious too.
And it smells like cinnamon.
Awesome. So Bi-Neh, we had 8 of these, and we've already had some takers. And this is really good. It's warm. It's super just buttery, fall apart. You can see all of that. See that steam, Bi-Neh, coming off of it. Take your hand off my food. And I love it because it's not too sweet. You see, it just falls right apart. Mmm. Those fresh blueberries is what's up. Okay.
It's not this.
I think Bi-Neh is hungry. All right, well, Bi-Neh, let me wrap up this video. I have to thank you because you did a really good job with very little help. I think Miss Trina is having a scone right now and loving it. So we definitely are going to thank you for breakfast because I'm on my way to work. So it's nice that Bi-Neh could do this for us before I head out the door. So Bi-Neh, if people like your video,
If you enjoyed my video,
Please like and subscribe and share. And I will look forward to seeing your comments below.
And we want to thank Miss Lori, because this was her special request, getting us to do this for the channel. And also we want to thank Sally from Sally's Baking Addiction. I have used this recipe at least 10 times and it has never failed. Here's your scone. It is amazing. It's beautiful to look at. It's actually much better to just dig in and have a nice buttery piece of it.